Hey folks, Joe with JAC Baseball Collector here, coming back at you with another video. Not going to be a rip today, not going to be a card opening, but what I am going to do is show off my recent budding SGC slab collection. So I only have 11 cards here that I have in the SGC slabs collection thus far. I was never a big graded collector, though I did pick a couple SGC slabs up last year just randomly, and I just fell in love with them, fell in love with the way they look, and I've been slowly kind of trying to build out, a box of just SGC slabs just for my personal collection, not for investment purposes or anything like that. I know, PSA is kind of the way to go if you're, if you're looking to, really put a premium on your card, or you're kind of more in the investor class. I'm a collector through and through. Not that I don't want to make a few bucks here or there when I have a nice big card or whatever, but for me, SGC is just the best slab. It's the prettiest slab. I love the way every single card I've ever seen looks in them. The vintage look phenomenal. I love them quite a bit. So won't keep rambling about how much I love SGC, but yeah, like I said, what I'm going to do here is I want to show off my, small but growing SGC collection, and then show you guys 30 cards that I'm going to be submitting to SGC. 10 from the Series 1 special that they're running, the Topps 2023 Series 1 special, and then 20 that I've had, put aside for quite a while to send in for grading. I've decided I'm finally going to do it. I've never graded on my own before, so we'll get into that a little bit later in the video. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you here is this 1993 Topps Finest Ken Griffey Jr. 7.5, 7.5 near mint plus. This is the very first year of Topps Finest. At some point last year, I can't remember when or what month it was. It may have even been late 2021, honestly. 1993 Finest was the Baseball Cardpedia set of the month, and anyone who's been a fan of my channel or have watched my videos, before my hiatus, know that I love the Baseball Cardpedia website. It's just every month they put out, their algorithm spits out a kind of set of the month, and I always try to do something from either the year or the set or whatever, just to kind of, do something a little different, get something different into my collection. And I happened to come across this Griffey SGC. It's the first ever SGC I ever picked up. It's only a 7.5, but it's a beautiful looking card. I'm sure it has some surface scratches. I've never actually taken it out of this bag and looked super closely. I'm sure that's why it's a 7.5, but probably a pretty condition sensitive set there. But it's the original Finest set. It's one of the greats of all time, Ken Griffey Jr. It's the first SGC that I picked up ever, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I'm hoping it's going to stay on the stand without falling over, and it does. So that's the one that kind of introduced me to SGC. And then the second was this Aaron Judge rookie short print from 2017 Topps, arms over railing in a 9.5 mint plus. Picked this up off of somebody in the LSU Maniac Facebook group. I can't remember who it was. It might have been this guy Adam, but I need to go back and look. I can't remember who I bought this off of. I got what I thought was a really good deal on it, and it's just a beautiful rookie card of a PC guy. I had to have it, and I just love the slab. So very, very nice. So that kind of sat as my only two for quite a while. Like that sat as, for a handful of months, probably 6 months or more, is the only two SGCs I had in my collection. And then something I was working on doing is putting together, I got back into the hobby in 2019. Something I was working on doing was putting together all the Topps Chrome sets, just like the base sets to put in a binder, and just, it's kind of like a set collector thing, which I never was a set collector, and I've kind of started getting into it. And I realized that my 2019 Chrome was just either all over the place. I was missing a lot of them. So I ended up buying the complete set of Chrome, the 200 card, or I think 204 card set, whatever it was. And this one guy happened to have it with the full set, and then these two cards in an SGC 10. So they're not, in the binder as part of the set. I have them in these slabs. The Vladdy and the Tatis, the two biggest cards in the set. He had them in SGC 10. I paid a premium for the set as a result, obviously. But I think it was worth it because it really kickstarted my my SGC kind of collecting journey with that purchase. Like I said, I had the two that I was sitting on, and then I just picked these other two up as part of that set, and the things just really started to snowball, and I started picking up a bunch of stuff. The next that I want to show you is not baseball. It is actually a Tiger Woods 2001 Upper Deck Tiger Woods rookie card in an 8.5 near mint plus. This is, a holy grail card for anyone who's a golf collector, a big golf guy like myself. Obviously it's a condition sensitive card. You can see there's a little bit of white on that top corner. That's probably at least partially where it got dinged. Tiny little bit on the top right corner as well. Was looking at these. Once you get to a 9 and above, the price on it jumps quite a bit. I think I got this for maybe like $35. I think when you get to a 9, it jumps into like a $75 range, and then 10s obviously are extremely expensive. And that's even just for SGC. Forget about it if you're talking about forget about it if you're talking about PSA or otherwise. So I just had to have this one. I mentioned it on my recent mail day video. I decided to start dabbling in non-baseball, picking up, key rookie cards or rookie cards of just like, major superstars throughout the other major sports. And one of the first ones I had to do was just get my guy Tiger Woods. Huge fan of his. Even given all his stuff that he's had, non-golf related, but he's just the absolute GOAT. I grew up watching him, and that is just such an iconic card. I had to have it. So yeah, I'll move relatively quickly through the rest of these. Those are the ones that pretty much had stories behind them. The rest of these are just others that I randomly picked up. I remember watching a Mike O video where he was talking about I think it was like a PSA 9 of some Ryan Howard card that he wanted for his Phillies collection. He was like, yeah, if I see these things for like basically the cost you can get it graded for or less at an auction, I'll just try to snag it. And that's kind of what I've been doing. It's just like searching around for stuff that, I can get for like $20, $25 or less. Just kind of randomly if I'm seeing an auction that I can snipe something on. So I've done a bunch of that. I got this Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Gallery rookie card in a 9.5. So pretty nice looking one right there. I got a Julio Rodriguez Bowman Chrome rookie card in a 9.5. So these all came relatively cheap. I think these were all probably $25 or less. Got the Ken Griffey Jr. 1989 Fleer in a 9. Those were, the Griffey Fleer was just an iconic card as a kid. I never had the upper deck as a kid. We'll get to that in a minute. Never had that one, but I had that one, and I'm going to show you this one. You can just see which one. I also had the Donruss. So I had a bunch of the Fleers and the Donrusses as a kid. I didn't have, I think I maybe had one of the Tops traded, and I never had the upper deck. So these two were just like the iconic Griffey rookies to me, just because they're the ones I had so many of in my collection. So I saw these two relatively cheap, and I had to snag both of them up. The next, I got this Tatis super cheap. I can't remember for what, but obviously people are quite down on him right now. So I was able to get this Tatis super cheap in a 9 from Heritage. And then the last one here, I got this for a really good price. I think I got it for like $18. I got a Jeter 92 in an 8 near mint. So, another big rookie card from my childhood that I didn't have as a kid. I actually have a couple now in my collection raw. Neither of them look super great. May send one to grade eventually if I decide it looks good enough, but picked this one up. The price was just so right that I just to have one of these in a slab as a Yankee guy, as a Jeter guy, I just had to do it. So those are my 11 cards in the SGC collection right now. That's obviously going to continue to grow. It's going to grow quite a bit. It's going to, triple or quadruple after this order comes back of these that I'm about to show you. So first, I'm going to show 10 cards that I've put aside based on all my, Topps Series 1 openings. They're doing a special right now. I'm sure most people know. They're doing a special of $9 per card, and I think it's like $15 for shipping or something, regardless of how many you've got, if I'm not mistaken. $9 a card for everything Series 1 through the end of the month of March. So that's why I'm kind of doing this video. I'm actually filming it in a little bit of advance of when I'm actually going to post it, because I want to get this stuff wrapped up and out into the mail, and submit submit the ticket and all that through the website. So really looking forward to that. So here are the 10. The first is I'm going to send in this Wander Franco from the Silver Pack. I think it's a little off center, as you could tell, definitely right to left. I doubt it gets a 10, but it's just such a sharp-looking card, and I'm a big fan of Wander. I think he's really going to bounce back this year, have himself a monster season. So that's going to be the first one I send in. Next are going to be a couple of base rookies, Oswald Peraza and Gunnar Henderson. So Oswald is my guy, from the Yankees, my team, so I wanted to send at least one of his base in. I didn't pull any of his parallels, unfortunately. I didn't get a Silver Pack rookie or any of that. I'm not sure if he had a Silver Pack rookie. I'm trying to remember, but because I know Oswaldo Cabrera did, but I'm not sure if I ever saw an Oswald Peraza in the Silver Pack. So I'm going to send his in, and then Gunnar Henderson I'm going to send in. I'm not going to send in Michael Harris. I have a ton of Michael Harris. I pulled more of Michael Harris than any rookie so far this year, but I decided that Gunnar, I wanted to send 10 cards. I like round numbers. I decided that Gunnar, even though I had Michael Harris as the number 2 guy in my rookie preview video, I think Gunnar jumps him. I like Gunnar quite a bit. The more that I read about and see of this guy. So I'm going to put him as number 3. Number 4, I just recently pulled this out of a rookie card explosion box. It's a JJ Bleday gold, number to 2023. So a nice gold rookie, not obviously the biggest rookie in the world, You know, he's kind of come back down to earth after being one of the top prospects in baseball, but he's with the Athletics now. Maybe it'll be a fresh start. Obviously, he'll be super irrelevant out there in Oakland, playing in front of nobody. But it's, you know, I've never really pulled a big rookie gold before, so this might be kind of the biggest of the bunch that I've ever pulled in terms of a rookie gold, so I wanted to send that in. Next was a really nice card you may have seen if you watched my video that I did out of my jumbo box. It is the O'Neal Cruz Future Star, so a second-year O'Neal Cruz vintage stock, number 299. As you can see there, I think it says 98 of 99. So a nice O'Neal Cruz Future Stock. I think this one looks pretty good, pretty well centered. Corners and everything look pretty sharp, so I'm hoping for a 10 on that one. The top right, maybe, I don't know, but I think that one looks pretty good. And then the remainder are going to be guys that I absolutely love. It's going to be a bunch of Adley, so one Adley base. I think this is the best centered one that I had. I have a handful of them. I think this one was the best centered. I think it looks pretty sharp. So it'll even regardless, I'm a huge fan of Adley, as I've made clear on a number of my videos. So he's a guy I just want to make sure I have one slabbed up of. I have his stars of the MLB. I know people don't really love these cards. I think they're much better than last year. So I'm gonna, you know, I think they look pretty decent. I wish it was the stars of the MLB Chrome. I do like the way those look, but didn't pull one of those of Adley, so I have one of those that I'm gonna send in. I've got his rainbow foil, which I picked up in a trade with Filthy Card Breaks. I sent him over a Wander slab, a PSA 9 of Wander from a Mojo box for this Adley Rushman rainbow foil that I think looks absolutely beautifully centered, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with this card. Front and back, it just looks really good to me. So I'm hoping for a 10 on that one. And then I have the Silver Pack Adley, which again is not perfectly centered, but I don't think it's like that off center. So I think that one's pretty good too. Hoping for a good grade there. And then the last one is just going to be just for me, just for the PC. Like I said, I like the way these Topps Chrome stars of the MLBs look, and it's Judge. It's my guy. He's my main PC. He's my, you know, the superstar of my team. So I'm going to get that one slabbed up just simply for PC purposes. So that's my Series 1 lot. Obviously, we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I've never submitted for grading before, so I'm really kind of like at a loss, and I'm going to be even more at a loss with this next stack. I'm at a loss for like what any of these are actually going to get as far as grades go. You know, I like I said, this is mainly for PC purposes. I'm happy to just have them come back slabbed. I'm not, you know, saying I need to get it, you know, 10 or bust, anything like that. That's not what I'm going for. I'm just going to be, you know, happy to keep building this SGC collection out for cards that I think would look really good in my collection in a nice tuxedo slab. All right, so this next stack, I've got 20 cards here. You know, I've been telling myself since I started my channel in 2021 that I wanted to do some sort of grading submission. I always knew SGC was probably going to be the way to go. I put it off in 2021. I put it off in 2022, and then I kind of took the, you know, the brief hiatus from the hobby. Now we're in 2023. You know, obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive of a submission, especially just for PC purposes. You know, $20 a card for 20 cards plus shipping. But these are truly ones that I've had piling up. The way that I'm looking at it is, you know, I would have sent some of these in 21, some of these in 22, and then some of these in 23, right? So I'm figuring it's a 3-year kind of expense, which is, you know, whatever. But let me show you what I've got here, because I think I have some really cool stuff that you guys might like, and I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments, especially as far as grades and things go, because like I said, you know, it's my first time doing this. I kind of don't have quite a concept, but I think I'm going to get the hang of it as I start doing these maybe once every 6 months or so is what I'm hoping. The first one is going to be this 1969 Mickey Mantle. You're probably looking at it and they're saying, look at all that schmutz on it. Look at that stain. Look at that mark on his face. It's just, this card's in horrendous condition. So this is the lone surviving Mickey Mantle from my dad's childhood collection. So the rest of his baseball cards, there's going to be a few of his cards from his collection in here. But most of his baseball cards, you know, made into the garbage. His mother got rid of them. They, you know, didn't survive being in the basement or whatever. But this Mickey Mantle was in a stack that we found in his parents' basement up in Syracuse. My parents are from Syracuse, up in Syracuse a number of years ago. It was sitting in a box in my childhood bedroom. I started sifting through it after I got back in the hobby, and I said, holy cow, there's a Mickey Mantle in here. And I was like, you know what? It's in just horrible shape. I don't know if that's a water stain or just dirt or whatever's on it. But even if this just comes back as authentic, I will be thrilled. I would just, you know, this is a very sentimental thing. It was my dad's card. He would have been 12 at the time when the 69 set came out, so he's probably right in the peak of when he was collecting baseball cards as a kid. And just to have it slabbed up would mean a whole lot to me. So if it gets, you know, a 1, that would be awesome. But even if it comes back as authentic and I could just have this, you know, encased in a slab, would be really sweet. So because I had the 69, I decided I'm going to try to start picking up as many mantles as I can. Obviously, that gets incredibly expensive. I'm not made of money or anything, but it's something I'm going to try to do over the long haul. I mean, I hope to be in this hobby for a very long time. So over the years, I want to, try to pick up some mantles. And I was also able to snag the 68 mantle recently on an auction. I think I got this for about $100. I think looks like it's in really good shape. It's in much better shape, obviously, than the 69 that was my dad's. So I expect this one to actually get like a pretty decent grade. Obviously, this top right is not so great, but there's a couple of small creases that you could probably not even really see. If I hold it like this, you can kind of see the crease right here. So not really sure what that means as far as grading goes. The centering is like seems pretty decent. But it's obviously a late career mantle, but it's a mantle nonetheless. So definitely want to get that one slabbed up as well. If it comes back in kind of the low mid range, that would be absolutely sweet. Another one from my dad's collection was also from 69. It was this mantle checklist. Same thing. It's got a little bit of that staining on it, but it's in much better shape overall. Obviously not a super, high premium card. He actually had 3 of these. The other 2, he actually had filled out the checklists. Like on one of them, almost like this whole front was filled out. On another, I think the Denny McLean was filled in, and they were in worse condition overall. But it's final year, 1969, final year mantle. And it's obviously just a checklist, so not like a big super premium card. But again, another one from my dad's collection, so I really wanted to get that one slabbed up. These next couple are also in the Mickey Mantle vein. I've pulled these out of a couple of mystery boxes. So this one is the 1957 Yankees Power Hitters of Yogi Berra and Mickey Mantle. So I pulled this out of, I think it was one of these fire boxes that this guy John puts together on the LSU Maniac page. Obviously, there's a little bit of surface damage here. It's not the most perfectly centered. The corners aren't phenomenal, but it's such a cool card. I mean, it's Mantle and it's Berra, and I can't tell who that is in the background, but it's probably some other star that's just kind of hanging out there in the locker room in the background or in the dugout in the background. But it's just such a sharp, cool looking card. And, SGC is the king of vintage. So had to get that one slabbed up. And then the other one, I think I pulled this one out of a Maniac pack. I think this was one that Dustin himself, LSU Maniac, had. And it was in one of his mystery boxes that he put together. I'm pretty sure it came from him. It's a Bomber's Best. I believe this is a 1963 Topps card. You got Tom Tresh, Bobby Richardson, and of course Mickey Mantle right there in the middle. So, anything Mantle, I'm probably gonna end up getting graded at some point, and this one was just too perfect. All right, the next little set I have here, these are all additionally vintage cards that were from my dad's collection. Actually, this one I don't think was from my dad's collection. I'm not sure where I got this one. It might have been also from some sort of mystery box. But it's from 1966 Topps. It's the 65 strikeout leaders. You have Sandy Koufax and Bob Gibson on there. And it looks to be in really nice shape. I mean, for a card from 66, this is of the vintage I've showed you, this one is obviously in the best shape of the bunch. So just a really sharp looking card. And you have obviously 2 of the great all-time pitchers, one of the great all-time righties and one of the great all-time lefties, if not the greatest all-time left-handed pitcher, with Sandy Koufax on there. Next, this one was from my dad's collection from that box you found. It was a 66 Sandy Koufax. Yeah, 66 Sandy Koufax. I believe this is his last card before he was forced into retirement with that arm problem, with that arthritis in his elbow. Obviously well off center, soft corners and all that. Doesn't seem to have as much surface damage. There's some creasing up here. But again, another card and a sentimental card nonetheless, being from my dad's collection. And I'm a huge Koufax fan. I read his book by Jane Levy, the book about him from Jane Levy, and I just, I really loved Koufax for the past 10 or so years after reading that book, so I had to get that one. And then the next 3, I'll show them to you all at once. These are also from my dad's collection. It's all from 69 again. It's a McCovey. This one I thought was in really nice shape. He has like 3 or 4 of these McCoveys that I happened to find. This one I think was in the best shape. It's a Tom Seaver, so an early career Tom Seaver. I think a third year Tom Seaver. Again, it has kind of some of that staining on it, but even just to get this marked as authentic and early Tom Seaver like that, I would be thrilled with. And then an Al Kaline, which is not a very expensive card. I looked up these raw. It's really, trying to get a comp for, for pricing wise, and what is that? You have to put into the SGC. I forgot what you have to put in there. Your how much the stuff is worth for the insurance. I'm blanking on what that's called, but. not a very, very high-end card by any stretch of the imagination, but a Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats who recently passed nonetheless. So wanted to, and then again, sentimental reasons. That's from the dad's collection. I wanted to get those into a slab. Next, what I decided to do, I think anyone, again, who's watched my channel for any period of time knows that one of my big PC items, one of the things that I chase every year, is trying to put the complete set of Topps Chrome rookie autos together. So generally base autos. Sometimes guys don't have a base auto. Sometimes they only have a refractor or better, or like a purple or better or whatever. But what I decided to do was take some of the best cards from those sets and get them slabbed up for the PC. So this is purely PC stuff again. Pretty much that's the theme here. So I took some stuff from 2019 and 2022, and I'm going to get them slabbed. So first I'm going to go with this Austin Riley. Nice looking card. His autograph isn't perfect on this, so if they do the auto grade, I don't know if the auto will get a 10, but a nice looking Austin Riley. He's one of the better ones as far as I'm concerned. Next, Fernando Tatis Jr. People are down on him. Prices are down on him, but there's still potential to be one of the greats in baseball if he can get himself on track. He can stay healthy. This card, his signature on this looks absolutely perfect. The card looks really sharp. Maybe the top left corner. I can't really tell, but maybe a little ding there. But again, this would just be kind of purely PC purposes. Otherwise, these are just sitting in one touches or top loaders in the Chrome Auto set box. Anyhow, going to send the Alonso in. So the Alonso, I think that one looks pretty good. The surface looks pretty good. I think that's a piece of schmutz on the not on the card, but on the penny sleeve. And of course, I'm going to send in the Vladdy Jr. Again, the autograph isn't perfect, a little wispy. Pen starts to die out there a little bit, but otherwise that one looks really sharp. And then look into 2020, I'm going to send two. It's going to be the Bo Bichette, which I think looks pretty good. I actually bought this graded. I forget from what other grading company, some lower end grading company. I think it was a 9 or a 9.5 from that grading company. I cracked it out because I wanted to kind of, consolidate these all into an SGC. I cracked it out really nicely, no damage or anything. Obviously cracking it out, did a good job with that. Took my time, showed some care. So nice one there. I'm going to send in the Jordan. So I think he has a nice looking signature on this one, and the card itself looks really nice. Again, this is just little dust particles that are getting on the sleeve, not on the card. So that one looks good. The one I did omit that I may send in a future order, depending on how he does, is Luis Robert. So obviously he was the hot card in the 2020 set. He was kind of the big guy. He was one of the more expensive ones to pick up at the time when I was putting that set together. But the guy's never played more than 100 games. So I want to see him play a full season. I want to see how he does. I think these guys, 6 or 7 that I laid out there, have established themselves as stars in the league. I think Robert could do that. And he has that potential, but I want to see him actually do it, and then we'll maybe I'll send his in as part of another order. All right, 4 more to go, and then I'll get out of here. I know this video is going much longer than I ever anticipated it would, but as you guys probably know, I like to talk. I'm going to send in a Judge base rookie card. I have 2 or 3 of these. This I thought was the best looking one. Again, just a PC purposes, get this one encapsulated, make sure get it into a slab. Hopefully it comes back at 10. I know this one's a little condition sensitive with the corners just because of the way it is, no borders and stuff. So hoping for a 10 on that. And I'm also going to send in this first Bowman Chrome of Judge from 2013. Yeah, 2013 Bowman draft picks and prospects. So I bought 2 of these for I think $50 for the pair a while back before he went off. I think they probably go for at least $50 a piece now raw. Card looks really good. The surface is really good. Obviously, this one is a bit OC, so I wouldn't be shocked at maybe a 9. But again, I'm hardly the expert in this kind of thing, so we'll see where that lands when it comes back. And then these last 2 are purely sentimental purposes. It is the 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck #1 rookie card I never had. Like I mentioned before, rookie card I never had in my collection my entire life. It's not perfectly centered. It's pretty good. The only problem I see with this card is there's this little mark. You could probably see it. There's this little mark on his jersey. I don't know if it's pen. I don't know if it came out of the pack like that, if somehow it got on it in my house when I pulled it. But the story behind this card basically is when I got back into the hobby, before I was on YouTube, I bought 3 packs of 1989 Upper Deck in one of my LCSs, one I haven't been to in a while, but one that's actually closest to my house. He was selling them for $5 a piece. It was before prices went way up. I think it was early 2020 maybe, or mid 20. Yeah, probably before everything shut down. So it was probably like early 2020. He had 3 packs of them. I said, give me the rest. I took all 3. I'd never had this card as a kid. And in the 3rd pack, I pulled the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. So it's the only one that I've ever pack pulled myself. It's probably the only one I will ever pack pull myself, just because of how expensive that product has gotten. So just for purely sentimental reasons, even as this comeback is a crummy grade, it's one that I also really would just love to have slabbed, just for sentimental reasons. All right, last card is something fairly similar. Anyone who's watched this channel, and I'll link to this video down in the description because it was absolutely awesome when I pulled it. It's going to be my Nolan Ryan autograph. This card, to me, is in absolutely perfect condition. The centering is perfect. I mean, the corners are perfect. The autograph is perfect. Everything about this, to me, I see nothing wrong with it. I could be wrong. Again, not the expert. But this one, since I pulled it, has looked absolutely perfect. It is the biggest card, easily, that I've ever pulled myself. Definitely on the channel, but probably of all time. It's not the biggest card of all time. It's not a thousands and thousands of dollars card. But to me, it's a huge card. I love this card so much. Like I said, pulled it myself out of a Heritage Blaster box, 2021 Heritage Blaster box from Walmart. Pulled a Nolan Ryan Real One autograph, one of my favorite pitchers of all time. Only got to see him when I was really little, at the tail end of his career, but he's a guy that I've always loved, always admired. Loved the way he took care of business, just his whole demeanor, the way he pitched for basically across 4 different decades. I mean, just a phenomenal player, and I really want, again, another one just for sentimental reasons, I'd love to just have in a slab, and I do truly believe this one's going to come back in Gem and 10 condition. All right, that's going to be it, folks. Know this video went really long. You're super curious to hear what you think about both my SGC collection and some of the cards that I showed off down in the comments, so definitely would love to hear from you. Otherwise, please comment, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate the support as always. I will be back later this week with some full season pick predictions. So I've did my preview series. I'm going to do a video that's hopefully a little bit shorter than those were, much shorter than those were, with some full season pick predictions, award winners, World Series winner, any other kind of hot takes, stuff like that. I think that'll be a fun little video. We'll show off some cards similarly to the preview videos, going through that whole exercise. And then it'll be opening day, boys and girls, I should say. So really looking forward to that. All right, folks, thanks a lot as always. The best is yet to come. Take care.